Hey everybody, Steve here for Who Took My Dice, Ultramarines Beyond, and the 11th edition video has been out for a little bit now. We know a number of the models we're going to be getting. The video is incredible. I watch it so many times. We know we're getting a new captain, a new chaplain, new Vanguard veterans. We've seen the models for those. Those were introduced. Obviously, a new style of intercessor with the mixed armor. We're getting some sort of new skimmer. Looks like an old school land speeder, but who knows? We know we're getting some sort of new creation from the mech boys. This walker with a giant Gatling gun on it. Looks very cool. We know we're getting new war boss, new knobs, new boys, a new weird boy. Lots of cool stuff coming. We've seen lots of the new rules about how armies are put together, how terrain is going to work, how objectives are going to work. Detachment's a big thing now, where we can have multiple detachments or detachment points. It's limiting us how many enhancements we can use, how many units, how many type of the same unit we can have, and you double that for battle line, which makes sense. But the one thing that stuck out to me in this video, watching it over and over again, especially for specific points, I know there's lots of cool models, and I'm excited. I saw the picture just the other day of the new Vanguard model. They look great. I love them. They look awesome. Obviously, we saw the new Intercessor, like I said. I like the mix of armor, obviously having to pull armor from dead comrades to repair yours. And that goes way back to, Marines back in the old editions, where you'd have a mix of armor because that's what was repaired or it was earned by that Marine. I like the fact that boys are going to have sluggers and shooters. It just makes more sense to combine them into one. Excuse me, still getting over that cold. But the one aspect that keeps popping up, and this is where my theory comes in, that Games Workshop is hiding something there about how detachments are going to work, or what you're going to be, or what armies you're going to be able to pull them from. A number of times in the video, you see Ultramarines fighting next to Blood Angels. Very, very cool. It happens at the point where the captain yells down. You see a bunch of Ultramarines charge start slaughtering orcs, shooting them dead. You see Ultramarine intercessors flanking a Blood Angel intercessor. The new land speeder skimmer thing is definitely in Ultramarine colors. I paused it and tried to look at it frame by frame. It is definitely Ultramarine colors. There's a Ballistus Dread you see a number of times. This is Ultramarine colors. One of the first Marines killed by the Weird Boy is an Ultramarine. You see it a number of times. Now, these could have easily been colored as Blood Angels, and it would have been the same video. Instead of Ultramarines charging for it, it would have been Blood Angels. Instead of the intercessors all being a mix, it's all Blood Angels. The Ballistus, Blood Angel. The skimmer flying across, Blood Angel. Could have all been Blood Angels, but it wasn't. And I think that's more than just skimming. That's make it look interesting. I think it was done for a specific reason. And here's my theory. When it comes to detachment and detachment points, they have said certain detachments will cost more than others. You have certain points. I think you have like 2 points at 1,000 points a game, or I think 3 points at 2,000. What if you're able to draw different detachments from similar but different codexes? For instance, we see the Blood Angels and Ultramarines, specifically Ultramarines. Again, it could have been any other chapter. It could have just been more Blood Angels. What happens if you're able to, say, make a Blood Angel army with the Angelic Host, as an example, and then have another detachment of the Blades of Ultramar, of an Ultramarines army? That would be super cool. What if you could take, say, a Tyranid Codex detachment and then sideline it with Gene Stealer cults? Or maybe have a detachment, and this comes to my mind just recently, what if that's another way to do a Ynnari army for the Eldari? You can take a detachment of Eldari and a detachment of Drukhari. Ally them together that way, using your detachment points to build an army that flows well together using 2 different detachments. Again, this will also affect what missions you take, depending on what you take. What if you could take a Chaos Space Marine detachment and have Abaddon and decide, you know what, I really, really like the Thousand Suns and have Magnus in another detachment. Now, again, these are just theories. This is all sort of conjecture. I have no idea if this is the case. However, the fact that you see the Ultramarines next to the Blood Angels, or Blood Angels next to the Ultramarines, depending which one you think is the better chapter, kind of indicates to me that they wanted us to see that. If you look back at all the other videos that have come out introducing, whether it's Kill Team or Yarrick or all this other stuff, you rarely see forces combining. Even the 10th edition, it was all Ultramarines against Tyranids. All Ultramarines, every Marine in there was an Ultramarine against the Tyranids. If you even look at the Yarrick stuff, you have the Cadians with Cadians, you have the Krieg with the Krieg. You don't really see the two combining in any of the zones. Maybe, again, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. This video, this intro video, I think was designed to show that you can now combine two different chapters in these different detachments. I think it was probably the easiest way to show it. Orcs, for instance, it's a bit harder to show because orcs are orcs, and yes, they could color them a little bit differently here with the checks and the colors. It might be harder to see than blatant red and blatant blue. Again, that's just a theory I have, a game theory. No, I'm kidding. That's just sort of the theory I have, that perhaps that's where they're going with this detachment thing. A great way to ally forces. Again, if you want to play guard, you can have a guard detachment and then maybe an Imperial Knight detachment. Or you could take Imperial Knights and throw that in with Imperial Agents having their own separate detachment. Just instead of throwing a certain amount of points in just to fill some spots, you could create an Imperial Agent detachment with Imperial Knights. The same with the Guard. You could take Guard and Sisters. I mean, back in the day, you could actually combine them in the codices, having, you know, a certain Guard unit. Well, this might be bigger. Say 1,000 points of Guard, 1,000 points of Sisters. I don't know. What do you guys think? To me, it just happens way too much in that video to be a coincidence. So I'm thinking that could be where they're going with this. But you guys let me know down below, please. What do you think? The fact that there were Blood Angels and Ultramarines in the same video, when it could have easily been just straight Blood Angels. Just let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later. Keep rolling those dice. Bye.